Hey Internet, it's RJ. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning into the show today. Now, today's episode, we're doing one of our more requested videos, and that is our refresh to the Citi credit cards as of the end of 2022, early 2023. So in typical fashion, we will talk a little bit about Citibank as a company. We'll talk about their credit card updates, reward structure, and earnings as they have changed, the Citi rules, of course, the cards themselves come out on the other end with what I think about Citi cards and which ones deserve a spot in your wallet or not. So, of course, if that sounds interesting to you, then go ahead, press the subscribe button, and let's get to work. Now, again, we've done this before, but it's probably almost 2 years old, so let's get to work refreshing this so you have the most up-to-date content. So, classic did you know slide to get started here with Citi. There's a picture of their headquarters, but they were founded way back in 1812 as the Citibank of New York. Now, current day, they have about 2,600 branches in 19 countries, 723 in the U.S. Now, they are primarily focusing in your larger cities, New York, Chicago, L.A., San Francisco, D.C., and Miami. I believe they used to have more branches, but I think they started consolidating them a few years ago. Now, they're also the fourth largest U.S. bank with $1.65 trillion in assets as of 2022, and they're actually named Best Bank for High Net Worth Families for the fourth year in a row, I believe, and that they were qualifying that about $200,000 in assets. So I can't confirm that one myself, but if you have any experience, let us know down below. So overall, Citi, they're definitely in what I would call the Power Five of banking, being like, Chase, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Citi, and U.S. Bank, right? Remember, Amex, very powerful in credit cards. They don't really take their banking as seriously, though, as the others. So Citi definitely up there has some firepower. So they have actually redone their reward structure here over the last 6 months or so. So let's take a look at that. And here we have it. So again, earnings and redemptions, Citi, the core Citi cards, they're going to earn thank you points. So you can now redeem any amount and those points don't expire, which is great. These are nice changes. Of course, they have some co-branded cards. Those will just earn points, dedicated to that partner. So your redemptions are going to be cashback, statement credit. They do have a travel portal, and they have transfer partners as well. Now, to do the transfer partners, I think you have to have actually a Citi Premier card or Citi Prestige. We'll talk about that. But again, you can see the transfer partners that they have. So they have a decent range of transfer partners. It kind of goes under the radar a little bit, but overall, not too bad representation there. Now, we do know some rules about Citi credit cards as well that we'll take a look at next. So here's a few for you. The Citi 1 in 8 rule, 1 application every 8 days, 2 in 65, 2 apps every 65 days, or 1 in 90 for business cards, just 1 business card application every 90 days. Now, they do have 24-month rule language on some of their bonuses. However, they also have 48-month rule language on their co-branded cards, and then they don't have a limit on the amount of cards you can have, which is actually pretty helpful, and we'll talk about why in a second after we go through the credit cards. So again, overall, that is Citi. Now, I will say, if you're watching this in real time, for the rules, Citi has gotten a little bit more strict in my experience, approving customers, who don't use their credit cards and may look like a less profitable customer. All we have is data points on that, more so than an official Citi rule, but keep that in mind as we go. But I have some Citi cards myself, and we'll talk about those. So here we go. We're going to talk about the Citi cards now, and we're going to lead off with the first one, which is the Citi secured card. Again, no annual fee, multipliers, there's none to be had because this is a secured card. Technically, I think they call it a diamond card, but your benefits, it's basically a security deposit of $200 to $2,500, which will become your credit line. Reports to all 3 bureaus, and then you can get FICO scores, which is not really a huge benefit, but they advertise it. Next up, we have the Citi Simplicity card, which is another no annual fee card. This is going to be another low APR balance transfer card, so there's no multipliers. So these benefits, they vary depending on if they're running a promotion or not, but anywhere from 0% APR on purchases for the first 12 and balance transfers for the first 21 months. Plus no late fees, no penalty rates, and no annual fee ever, which is nice, I suppose. They also have the Citi Diamond Preferred. This is basically the same version. The last 2 cards are basically the same. But again, these benefits are also going to vary depending on what kind of promotion. But you can see if you need a balance transfer card, 21 months is quite a while, almost 2 years. And again, you get some low APRs on purchases as well. So that's it for those, but now we're going to get into the good stuff, and the first one is the Citi Rewards Plus. So no annual fee, multipliers here, 2x back on grocery stores and gas stations. That's up to $6,000 a year in spend, then it drops to 1x. And of course, the classic 1% back on all purchases. Now, the party trick for this card is that it rounds up to the nearest 10th on 10 points on every purchase. So that's pretty cool. And then 10% points back for the first 100,000 thank you points you redeem per year, which is also a neat trick there for a no annual fee card. And again, it does earn thank you points. Here's probably their most famous card. That is the Citi Double Cash, so no annual fee. Multiplier is pretty simple. One back when you buy it, one back when you pay. This is kind of the card they're going to set the standard, I believe, for the 2% era. You have another fan favorite card here in the Citi Custom Cash. So no annual fee. Multipliers here, you're going to get a dealer's choice. So you're going to get 5% and up to $500 in spend a month on the category you spend the most in. So those are your categories. Now, ideally, you would just want to pick the category. So you won't say, this is my grocery card, this is my gas station card, as opposed to just using this card all the time. But again, pretty good card. Now we have what is their heavy hitter card, the Citi Premier card. $95 annual fee. Multipliers get a wide range here. 3x on restaurants, grocery stores, gas stations, air travel, and hotels. One back on everything else. Now, to offset that $95, there's also a $100 annual hotel credit when booking via the travel portal. Now, of course, it's on stays of $500 or more once per calendar year, and there are no foreign transaction fees. Now we have a few co-branded cards to take a look at, and these are very popular actually. Costco cards. So Costco Anywhere Visa. There's no annual fee, but really you do need to have a Costco membership. I think the cheapest one you can get is for $60, so kind of sort of annual fee. Multipliers, 4 back on gas, 3 back on restaurants and travel, 2 back on Costco, and it is a Visa card, so yes, you can use it as Costco, because I think Costco only takes Visa card. Now, there's also a business version of this. It's the exact same thing, just for businesses, so we won't spend a ton of time there. Now, we do have the American Airlines partnership as well, so we have the mileage up. First off, so no annual fee, 2 back on American Airlines, 2 back on groceries, and 25% off in-flight purchases. We move right on up to the Airlines Platinum Select. Always got to be a Platinum card. $99 annual fee. It's usually waived in year number 1. 2 back on American Airlines, 2 back on restaurants, and 2 back on gas stations. A bit more for the benefits here. First check bag free, preferred boarding, and 25% off the in-flight purchases. Of course, there's a business card. It's the exact same thing we just looked at, but the multiplier is a little bit different. So 2 back on American Airlines, 2 back on telecom, cable, satellite providers, car rentals, and gas stations, and 1 back on all other purchases. Same exact benefits as its personal counterpart. And then the last one we have is the American Airlines Executive Card. So $450 annual fee, 2 back on American Airlines purchases. The main benefit here is at Admirals Club, because at the time of taping, you can get authorized users for free, and you can get up to like 10 authorized users, and they all get Admirals Club, which is like the easiest way to get Admirals Club. Everything else pretty standard, TSA pre-global entry, and 25% off in-flight purchases. And one of the newer or updated co-branded cards we have in the Citi world is the AT&T Points Plus card. So no annual fee here, multipliers, 3 back on gas stations, 2 back on groceries, and 1 back on all purchases, which oddly enough does include AT&T, believe it or not. Now benefits here, you could get a $20 statement credit. Each statement cycle you spend $1,000 a month on the card. I believe you could also get a $10 statement credit if you spend $500. And again, interestingly enough, this card actually does earn thank you points, which does fit it in with the Citi ecosystem, which is odd for a co-branded card, but hey, it's Citi. That takes us through all of the Citi cards at this stage in the game. Now, overall, I think the minor changes that Citi has made, especially to the core cards, letting them all earn thank you points, letting them pool, let you be able to redeem them at any amount, actually goes a long way to strengthen what's known as, I guess, the Citi Trifecta, or technically it could be a Citi Quadfecta if you wanted to. So if you might have imagined as we go through this, I'll put it on screen, but you're talking about the core Citi cards, right? So Custom Cash, Double Cash, Rewards Plus, and then the Premier. Now, you probably don't need the Rewards Plus as much because, again, the Double Cash would earn you the 2% at gas stations and restaurants, but you do get that round up, so it could potentially be a better option there. But again, those 4 cards, 3 to 4 cards would form your Citi Trifecta. So overall, not too bad there. And actually, one good thing about the Citi Trifecta, if we go back to our rules about you can have as many Citi cards as you want, is there are stories of people product changing other Citi cards into multiple custom cash cards, which is something I hope to do in the future as well. The only real issue I think is that, when we talk about trifectas, we're used to the Chase Trifecta, and we're like, booking through the portal with their Sapphire Preferred or Reserve gives you some extra points boosts. There's none of that to be had with Citi, right? So Citi, to me, I've always said that I love Citi Cards. I have the double cash and the custom cash. They're just always so close to being a top player, right? They're just outside of it. There's only a few different things they need to do. Strengthen up their trifecta to give you some kind of bonus when going through their travel portal. And then a lot of these cards, even though they're branded MasterCard World Elite, they don't all have the World Elite benefits, which is a little bit disappointing. Some of them, if it's no annual fee, fine, I guess. But, that you shouldn't really, in my opinion, have the MasterCard World Elite logo if you're not going to be a true World Elite card. I think it's almost misleading at this point and shouldn't be allowed. But overall, I do like Citi Cards. I like the custom cash. I like the double cash. I do like the Premier. I don't know if I'd keep the Premier long term. I still think the $95 is tough, but it is a good card with solid multipliers. And then hotel credit, if that hotel credit was a little bit easier to use, I don't know that the stay needs to be $500. You should just be able to use that credit on any hotel stay. I think the Premier would be there. But overall, I do like Citi Cards. I like the direction that they're headed. But again, they're Citi, so it's always like one step forward, two steps back. But hey, you can't have it all, I guess. Not every issuer can compete. But overall, I do think Citi is definitely worth taking a look at and keeping an eye on. So, of course, guys, if you like this one, drop me a thumbs up down below. If you found it particularly interesting, consider subscribing to the channel. Again, posting content just like this every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Of course, right back here every Sunday with all the news you can use in the week that was in credit and finance. Of course, my question to you guys is let me know your Citi strategy down below. What are your favorite transfer partners, or how do you play Citi Cards into your setup? Love to get your thoughts on that. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this one. As always, thank you so much for watching, and talk to you very soon in the next one.